Hello, everybody, and welcome to WarCrafters for May 11th, 2025. Season 2, Episode 19. I am Merwad. I run ohmtown.com. Sentient AI is not here today. They're on location doing some refactoring and the quantum entanglement with their dual singularities sometimes keeps them from doing other things depending on the scope. It's some inside baseball stuff with the sentient AI from the future. But I'm here and we're here to talk about these 5 articles. Ambitious Genshin Impact, Arc Raiders, Giant Bomb Explodes, Revenge of the Savage Planet, and BAFTA Game Awards. Everything is powered by ohmtown.com. That's where you should go and become a citizen. But be sure to follow us, like, subscribe, tell a friend. I don't know, do something viral and get our name out there. That would be great. We're growing the community and we would love for you to be part of that. So stay in touch. All of the show notes are available on Twitch and on YouTube. YouTube in the description has all of the links for all of the shows. And over on Twitch, you'll have to hit !WC and that'll pull up the show notes for WarCrafters. Each show has its own acronym. You can find that out when you go over to the chat. Okay, well, anyway, see you on the other side of this. So the very first article is actually from a Game Rant, I think it is, but you want to go over to WarCrafters. So ohmtown.com is where it's at, and then under there, and then there. So under Creative and Maker, the very first icon, and then WarCrafters, and you'll get to see a list of some of the articles that get aggregated. That's just some of them, and you can go page after page after page. But the first article is over in WarCrafters itself. Genshin Impact developers' ambitious 2030 goal leaks. Genshin Impact developer Hoyoverse aims to build a massive virtual world that's more real than reality by 2030. That's according to newly leaked company materials, which Hoyoverse insists that it's not a video game company. Now, I guess it's a world builder, kind of like ohmTown, but there are many, many millions of dollars a year. Maybe billion. I don't know. I don't know what the valuation of Hoyoverse is. But anyway, Dominic Bosnick put the article together over at GameRant.com. Formerly known as MiHoYo, a name that's still used by its Chinese headquarters, Hoyoverse is best known for the developer of Genshin Impact, a gacha, which is basically you open up boxes to get stuff. Open world RPG that's made over $6 billion in its lifetime revenue on mobile platforms alone. So there's your valuation, $6 billion. Since launching Genshin Impact in 2020, the Shanghai-based company released 2 more live service games, Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero. I've never played either of those 2. I very briefly played Genshin Impact. As for what's next, they apparently have sights for a gigantic virtual world by 2030, citing a leaked copy of Hoyoverse employee manual. The virtual space is described as more real than reality as per the same source. Given this language and the stated timeline, Hoyoverse may be exploring the development of a metaverse, potentially one rooted in virtual reality. So Reality Hacker once again steps up. That's another show. That's on Saturdays. So the likelihood that Hoyoverse 2030 project is not another video game seems even greater, given that the leaked employee manual insists the company is not simply a game developer. They've never been a game developer. They're a world builder, innovator. I don't know what they're actually calling themselves, but they don't call themselves a game company. Tech innovators. Go and check this out. According to the recent leak, one of Hoyoverse's upcoming games is called Honkai Nexus Anima. The project is rumored to offer a combination of RPG and Pokemon-style monster taming mechanics. It's still expected to incorporate the gacha elements permeating all of Hoyoverse's modern games. I don't know. Maybe I'll download the other 2. Just give them a try. But I'm more interested. I decided to buy Dune. It's dropping in a couple of weeks. I decided to go bonkers and get it. We shall see. But I'm interested in Arc Raiders is already stealing Marathon's thunder. Safe to say that Marathon's recent reveal wasn't received as well as Bungie had hoped. Now, some fans are looking excitedly over the fence at rival shooter Arc Raiders. Reviving a long dormant IP, Bungie made the bold decision to relaunch Marathon as an extraction shooter, inviting criticism from some of the fans. While not everyone has been turned off by the studio's new vision, it seems to be losing steam with some others. Well, I really dig Arc Raiders. Emma Neeson put the article together. It's over at GameRant.com. So it says Bungie may face challenges due to the IP's single-player history, where Arc Raiders won't. So Arc Raiders is although it's an older IP, it was retooled so that it was a PvPvE. And you can now play it with just for one person. You can solo adventure in Arc Raiders. That's what I'll be doing because I don't have time to dedicate to a group of people, and I don't want to keep bouncing in and out of plans. It kind of sucks for people. So this wouldn't be the first time that a large developer missed the mark in its niche, despite large player counts and a couple of the other titles. The extraction shooter genre is a notoriously difficult one to break into. Escape from Tarkov, Hunt, Showdown have done very well for themselves, but many other contenders have flopped right out of the gate. Arc Raiders, though, you get in, you do a couple of objectives and get out, kind of a thing. It's hard to ignore all of the similarities that Arc's developers share with Marathon, but the response to both could not have been more different, where Arc's shift from PvE to PvP has been praised, and it isn't really. It's PvPvE. You still have environmental objectives that you have to watch out for, just like PvP. Marathons has caused some confusion, with many players admiring the game's incredibly powerful aesthetic, but remaining disinterested in the extraction gameplay. Marathon's alpha playtest saw thousands of players sign up, but player numbers dwindled unexpectedly fast, and feedback around it has been suggested that the game may need to be delayed. Yeah, if it's aimless, I get it, because you're shooting guns a lot if it's aimless. Embark's background is somewhat similar to Bungie's, as each developer has experience developing very popular shooters, and both are now making extraction games at the same time. Kind of like how movies get launched at the same time. A dinosaur movie comes out, a couple of others come out near the same time. Anyway, conversely, awareness of Arc Raiders has been driven by a lot by word of mouth, proving that there's still excitement for new extraction shooters. I agree. I think that there is still room for extraction shooters if it's done right. Arc Raiders is the only one that I've found interesting because of its aesthetics. Let's keep going. The next article is over in WarCrafters. After conflict between the staff of gaming site Giant Bomb and owner Fandom, Giant Bomb is now owned by the people who make Giant Bomb. That's right. I don't know how this is actually playing out. Is it wholly owned now by the two that basically ran Giant Bomb? In October of 2022, popular personality-led gaming site Giant Bomb was bought by Fandom, the multi-headed wiki hosting Hydra, at the same time as Fandom acquired GameSpot, Metacritic, and GameFAQs. See, this is the problem. Mergers and acquisitions consolidates, and you don't get real choice. Anyway, conflict between Fandom and opinionated editors of Giant Bomb arose this year, when the publication of the new content was put on hold as part of a strategic reset and realignment of Fandom's brands. Well, I've heard other things from other podcasters in particular. I mean, we do a podcast, but not about this stuff to this degree. There are people that are inside this that know about it. Fandom is calling it a strategic decision. Jody McGregor over at PCGamer.com put the article together, gathering up this information from various places. Unexpected reversal of fortunes was announced at PAX East, where during a Giant Bomb panel, it was revealed that Fandom had sold Giant Bomb to two of its staff, Jeff Bakalar and Jeff Grubb, who will be running it as an independent operation from now on. But it says that it's been sold to the two that ran Giant Bomb anyway. But it's going to run as an independent operation from now on. Independent from who? And what is it independent of? Was it sold? Well, then it's not independent. It's owned by these two. As Bacalar and Grubb put it in a joint statement, Giant Bomb is now owned by the people who make Giant Bomb, and it would not have been possible without the speedy efforts of fandom and our mutual agreement on what's best for fans and creators. So is fandom getting compensated for this other than the sale of it? What is this relationship? I don't know. Back to its independent roots. You're not independent if you're owned by yourself. I mean, you're still a company. And anybody that comes and writes for Giant Bomb is going to be as independent as Giant Bomb ever was. So I don't quite get what they refer to as independent, not owned by a bigger company. Somebody has to own it. So I guess as long as you're not owned by a conglomerate, you're independent. But it's weird that they would say that, like, fandom should just say, we don't own Giant Bomb anymore. It's going to be run as an independent operation. Doesn't make any sense. It hints at behind the scenes ownership or investor relation type of, hand in the stew kind of thing, not even a spoon. Anyway, during the PAX East panel, it was made clear that Bacalar and Grubb will keep the site's archives and will run the site independently again, whatever that freaking means, with funding coming via subscriptions and merch sales. So not investors, apparently. I don't know. Let's move on. The next article is over in WarCrafters. I've played this Savage Planet game, Revenge of the Savage Planet. The complete beginner's guide is available over at Game Rant. They have a breakout here. Despite dropping players into a Savage Planet, Revenge of the Savage Planet is largely a beginner-friendly adventure. Better yet, players are joined by Eco the drone right behind from start, making it easier to grasp the basics, assuming that they pay attention. Get lost real quick. So Mohsen Bakary over at GameRant.com put the article together. Enable snap targeting to streamline combat and farming against agile foes. Save printer slurries for essential upgrades like the planet scanner tool, and start farming key resources early by fast traveling and clearing creatures. That's some of what they say is 10 tips for beginners. So number 10 is start farming resources early, enable snap targeting, save up printer slurries, pay attention to auditory clues, capture at least one creature from each species, take the high ground. They can't get to you. You are the one. Don't do it. I have the high ground. Okay, well, if you're going to do it, I'm going to chop off all your limbs and set you on fire. Anyway, Star Wars. It's a family series. So press the survey button frequently. Prioritize unlocking portals and shortcuts. And keep an eye out for secret paths. I'm going to end up playing this game. Unlock blueprints early. Upgrades are essential for exploration, so yeah, you need to keep on doing that. So I keep looking for my forever game, the game that I've never actually owned at any time in my life, the game that just drives me to want to play it again and again. I did for a long time in Minecraft, but Minecraft kind of wet the bed. I didn't like the story. It pushed everybody into endgame stuff and nothing else. Grindy crap. I wasn't into grindy. I was into the story and hanging out with people, and I just didn't feel it anymore in the writing of World of Warcraft. So I continue to seek out my forever game. If anybody knows of a game that is truly endless, but is survival based building, crafting, I need a list. Anyway, let's go on to our last article for today. And that's over in Technology Today. BAFTA Game Awards adorably dominated by Astrobot. The 2025 BAFTA Game Awards took place yesterday in London and were dominated by one of their favorite games this year, Astrobot. The PlayStation 5 platformer took home prizes in 5 categories, including Best Game, along with Animation, Audio Achievement, Family, and Game Design. And that's no surprise, considering the game's critical accolades and popularity with fans. Astrobot. Still Wakes the Deep came in second place with 3 awards. Steve Dent over at Engadget.com put the article together. It's the first fully fledged and fully priced version in the Astro universe with precise and responsive controls, adorable characters, and an exciting variety of mechanics and environments. Astrobot is easily one of the best games that Sony has ever produced, wrote Engadget's Jessica Condit. It beat out some strong competition in the best game category. Why does this seem like it was last year? So, Balatro, Black Myth, Wukong, Helldivers 2, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and Thank Goodness You're Here were all in the mix. But still lost out to Astrobot, which was supposed to be a nothing kind of a character. But anyway, Still Wakes the Deep came in second with 3 BAFTAs. New intellectual property and performers in supporting and lead roles. One of those winners, Scottish actor Karen Dunbar, playing Finley, humorously declared in her acceptance speech that I'm not even an actor, I'm a gynecologist. Well, that's it, folks. We are done with WarCrafters for May 11th, 2025. See you soon.